So product investing. Whenever I'm looking at property investors and they come in and they say to me, Paul, I've already got a portfolio, the first question that I ask them, that I hit them straight between the eyes is, what product do you own? And it's kind of like they go, whoa, what are you talking about here? I want to know what product you're buying. Is it a unit, townhouse, villa, apartment, flat, off the plan or house and land package? Or is it a development site? Is it a duplex site, triplex site, fourplex site that has an existing house on it? Because they're two completely different products. They're two completely different vehicles. So what I look for as an investor for myself, family, friends and clients is I'm looking for a duplex site as an absolute minimum. Now that's different from council to council. It's different in Liverpool Council, Leichhardt Council, Penrith Council, Campbelltown Council. It's different in every single council. I'm looking for the bottom of the cycle again, Sydney and Perth. I'm looking for 20 to 40 minutes from the CBD of a major capital city. So I'm not buying right in the CBD because the development sites are too much money. You're talking $1 million to do a duplex. I'm talking Western Corridor. I'm looking for excellent zoning. So excellent zoning means that I'm able to do, like you could have two houses side by side with the same council, listed by the same agent, real estate agent. Listed, let's use Blacktown Council. 350,000 each. And the one on the left-hand side is 2A zoning. But the one on the right-hand side is 2C zoning. 2C means that we can build a triplex. 2A means we can knock over one house and put one house. So if they're both valued at 350,000, there's no way I'm going left. I'm going right. I'm going to choose that one there because I can add value to that property even though they're side by side. I'm looking for a wide frontage. That does not always apply to every single council. Penrith Council in particular has a very small frontage rule. Blacktown Council has a bigger one. Campbelltown Council has a bigger one. Leichhardt Council has a different one. They're all different. And I'm normally looking for land size 600 square metres or above. So buy the right property product at the right time of the cycle and you're going to start moving away from the variables where people make a lot of mistakes. And again, I have no problems if people have purchased a unit, townhouse, villa, apartment, off the plan or house and land package. But if you really want to start making some wealth, if you really want to get to financial freedom, we've got to consider a better product, a faster product, a product that we can actually add value to. So how Property Secrets assist investors get to financial freedom? We have every division under one roof. And we had one of the people come up to us and say, but Paul, do we have to do every single division? No, you don't. You might have a good finance broker. You might have a good bank that you deal with. So this is like a shopping list. You can tick and cross what you want. But at least at first point, if you need an accountant and you don't have a good one that's a property-minded accountant, you can give us a call. We'll refer you to our accountant, no problem, and so on and so forth. So what's our vision for our clients when they're coming through? There's 6 stages to this, and it's a very simple process. Stage 1, we want to be able to buy. Now this one here, we bought for $215,000. We spent around about $27,000 to renovate it, and then we'll be looking at doing a granny flat at the back of it, and that's what they look at. So now we've got dual incomes. Notice on the left-hand side here, the house now is fully renovated and split by a 1.8 colour bond fence. And now we've got a granny flat. Granny flats, by the way, 2-week approval. 2-week approval in New South Wales. So whether you're in Sydney, where I was born in Albury-Wodonga, on the border of Victoria and New South Wales, or if you go up to Tweed Heads, it's a 10-day approval, and all you have to have is 450 square metres of land, regardless of frontage, regardless of council, you will be approved. So, what's happening here now is for a total spend of around about, say, and I'll go overboard here, let's say that total spend to buy, renovate and build was 400 grand, total cost, stamp duty, everything. It's renting out at $670 a week. So now you've got too much rent for your costs and repayments, and we haven't even spoken about a tax check. So what we're talking about here is we're saying, okay, well, we've got a product here that will look after itself at 6% interest rates, whether you have a job or not, whether you pay tax or not. If you're self-employed, this is perfect for you. If you're not self-employed, you get great tax deductions here. And we're looking at a minimum of $5,000 per property that has dual incomes like this net. Before we even talk about your tax check should be around about 8 to 10 grand. So imagine Colin Quigley with 8 properties at 15 grand cash flow. This is where he's going. Stage 4, we can sit there and say, well, if it's 15 grand per property, we can reduce that 400 grand loan over the next couple of years and pay it off very quickly. And if we talk about just the granny flats, let's do some numbers. We're talking 18% yield just on the granny flat. Coming from Leichhardt, when I speak to investors in Leichhardt, they get really excited about a 4% yield or a 5% yield. Paul, we've got 6% yield in Leichhardt. Really doesn't float my boat. I'm talking 18% yield just on the granny flat. If we put the front house together with the granny flat, the yield is around about 9 to 10%. We didn't invent the granny flat process, but I tell you what we did right at Property Secrets from day one was that we actually purchased the right property product since 1998. And now we're getting copycats here, which is a nice compliment. But we're doing between 18 and 20 granny flats per month and increasing. We've got all the granny flat builders coming and saying, oh, Paul, we want to do your granny flats. And I say to them, how many granny flats do you guys do per month? 2 or 3 or 4. So by default, we're now the biggest granny flat builder. We're very good at what we do, and we do the granny flats in 6 to 8 weeks. Quality. 1-bedroom granny flat, 70,000. 2-bedroom granny flat, 80,000. 3-bedroom granny flat, 90,000. The numbers are 70,000 at 7% interest rate. 7% interest rate this is. This is not 6%, so it's going to be a better return anyway. 4,900. Rent at $250 a week. The rents have now moved to $270. 13,000 per annum. We're positive geared just for that granny flat of 8,100. It's probably getting closer to, say, the 9.5 to 10 grand with the new numbers. The yield is 18%. So when we talk about the big developers, they'll go out and buy hectare sites and go ahead and go and buy another hectare site and then go and buy another big parcel of land, and they sit on that one and they sit on that one and they get all their workers to work on this one here because they want to have a job to go to once this job's finished and they've done all the house and land packages. So they call this land banking. So what they're doing, they're making repayments here to a bank, they're making repayments here to a bank, while they're actually going through here. What we offer at Property Secrets, we're copying the billionaires. Forget about all these guys here, forget about me as well, all the millionaires. What we're looking at is a step up, a massive step up. We're looking at what the billionaires do. The billionaires would do cost land banking. What we do is no cost land banking because we're buying something, we're renovating it, we're renting it out. We do a granny flat, it's positive geared without a job or a tax check. While we're waiting for capital growth or for us to build, it's not costing us a cent, it's putting 5 grand in our pocket. No cost land banking. Stage 5, develop. You can see 1, 2, and there's a 3rd unit there that's obscured. So that property now can be knocked over. The granny flats that we build are movable. We can move it to another one of our properties for about 5 grand moving costs, or we could on-sell it to another investor as a used granny flat instead of 70 grand, 50 grand 5 years later. There's no problems with that. And now we have this block of land that we can go ahead and build a triplex on, build 3, sell 2, own 1 with no debt within a 5-year period. That's financial freedom. We're now doing the opposite to what our friends are doing. We're now doing the opposite to, a lot of people that are selling things here. We're now doing the opposite to our parents with the 30-year loan, where we've got to be a slave to our jobs. We're now doing things in 5 years. We're fast tracking it because we're open to that we can't just be an investor these days. We have to look at being a developer on some level if we really want to get financially free. This strategy reduces the 30-year mortgage down to 5 years, debt-free, financially free. So again, we're talking about the journey. Do you want to be up to debt here to your eyeballs, having sleepless nights? If that's your journey, if that's what you're calling in life, go ahead and do it. But that's not what I want to do. That's what I move away from in regards to getting my clients. I'm looking for my clients to have a really easy journey where it's positive, and each property they buy makes them stronger finance-wise, makes them stronger lifestyle-wise.